Go live. Okay,
Okay,
just
we're
say go
live
live.
now.
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yay.
It's like a 30-second delay, right?
I never really noticed, but probably.
Let me find it. Oh yeah,
Well,
we are live. Okay, good.
is anyone here?
Hello.
Welcome.
Let me post about it.
Yeah, I'm like doing a little
Oh,
post
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, guys. So sorry, me posting takes about like at least 5 minutes. Log. I'm sorry. Yeah, so how is your day going, Lacey?
It's been good. I've just been reading. I've been reading 365 days, you guys.
Hey, that's a really awesome goal right there.
You
No, the
always
book.
get all
The book.
all the new books
Oh,
before anyone else.
The book. Not
well, of course you've been reading 365 days this year. Like,
probably, honestly.
oh my gosh, that's too funny.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I should introduce. Okay, let me be a good. Oh, someone else. Okay. So let me be a good host right now. Thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. My name is Charles, and this is my channel, Books on Stereo. And I have two special guests with me. And I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Carrie. My little channel is called Book for Romance, and I am so excited to be hanging out with Charles and Lacey because let's be honest, they're really awesome. So thank you for having me on, and I'm just gonna hang out with them. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm Lacey. My channel is Lacey Book Lovers. And yeah, we're just here to talk about Samantha Young's paranormal romance. Charles, did you finish?
I did.
No? Why did that take so long to answer?
Okay, because for the second book, I did text to speech. And I legit can't tell you.
Oh,
I don't know what
my
happened in that last chapter. And then I started reading like the links at the end of the book. And I was like, wait, it's over?
God. Wow,
Right.
I've never tried
So
the text to speech.
I kind of had to because I was like, of course, Lacey will want to read a book that doesn't have the audio out yet.
You're blaming me?
So wait, so it reads the story for you? This is really cool. I'm very interested in this.
On the Kindle
Yeah.
app, like on your
That's
phone.
really neat. I love that.
Yeah, it just doesn't have any. It's like Siri reading to you, you know?
Right. So
Yeah,
it's just
like
monotone at that
robotic.
point.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
It's a way to get the story done the quickest instead of actually reading it.
yeah. That's
So why don't we give our ratings?
Okay.
Oh, the first book, sorry, War of Hearts. And the second book is Kiss of Vengeance. I don't have that in paperback, but I only have the first book. So what you guys give it, the first book at least?
I gave the first one a 4.3.
Okay.
So do you want me to explain or just give the ratings first and then we'll talk about it?
You can explain.
I felt like I really enjoyed the first one. I really liked how they used the magic system in there. I really like how they introduced, like, I thought it was like werewolves and vampires, and then out of nowhere, fairies came, and I was just so there for that. I was like, "What? She's a fairy?" Like, total out of nowhere, and I love that. I loved like how there was like strife in there. I like when there's like conflict and serious conflict where you can see like the heroine having to overcome that. So I absolutely adored it.
Well, I read War of Hearts last year when it came out. I did a little rereading just to like remind myself what happened so I could start book 2. But I gave War of Hearts 3.5 stars. It was like almost 4. Like I could see the potential. I didn't love it, but I still did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to explain more? What, Charles?
Oh, sorry.
What did you say?
Oh, I gave it a 2.5.
Okay.
Of
So we're
course.
like
Okay.
kind of like all over the spectrum here.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what didn't you like
So
about it?
I would say it was a little bit too long.
Okay.
That
Mhm.
first, especially when it comes to the action scenes, like with like Ilona Andrews, they do a really great job of describing.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
book, it would be like a dude, like a car of like armed people will try to take us out, and then next paragraph, they're all dead. It's
Right.
like,
See,
Yeah.
and for me,
how
like
how
I'm
do we
not
get from
See, and for my books, I'm not really into descriptions. Like with some fantasies, they go really into like a lot of description, and I get bored with that. I want to be like, keep
Yeah.
going to the next thing, to the next thing. Where like there's some fantasies that get to be like they tell you like worlds upon worlds, and for me, I it's hard for me to hang on to that. But I get what you're saying though, for sure.
Yeah. And then it was just the relationship side of things that just happened took way too long. And then
Yeah,
I
I
talked to
remember
Lacey
it
about
being,
this, and then she's like,
it
it just
was
like
really
goes,
slow and then it was
and then it's
really
just like
fast.
Right.
they're
Yeah.
like they're mates, and then it's just like I'm like, whoa. Let's cool down for a second.
See, you
Let's
know what
take a
this
couple steps
reminds
back.
You know what this reminds me of is Crescent City and how long it took to build that, where it
Don't
was
get
kind of like
Charles
they pushed it
started.
back. You know what I mean? Or and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It just took so long to get there, and then it finally got there.
Yeah, but I think it was literally because it was 800 pages too.
Right. Good point.
Pages.
Yeah, that too. That too.
And
Yeah.
that book is like literally half descriptions of like name dropping various people,
Yeah.
and then you're
Right.
supposed to remember who all these people are. And like
Yeah.
I gave up
Absolutely.
after the first 100 pages, trying to understand everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you guys just didn't really love it. It wasn't your
So
favorite.
No, it was just okay.
Right.
You know, like,
Something that could be forgettable for you.
yeah.
Yeah. I
mhm.
did the parts I did love were like the wolf aspect of it, them doing like a mating bond, because it's really interesting. Because after SJ Mass, it's hard for me to find people that write it well. And I thought it was written okay. Like when she was doing like her torture scenes and that dark element to the books, it sounds bad, but I really enjoyed how she kind of like overcame those and like she like kicked his butt, like just took him out. And it's just like some of these like
Yeah.
side things were really like enjoyable for me.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like I could
See, I
see how
feel
the
like
romance was kind of slow.
yeah. It's like I feel like because I read From Blood and Ash, which
Right.
Lacey recommended again. I read that around the same time I read The War of Hearts. And
Okay.
like that book
Yeah,
just
they're
like
very
got me.
different.
Right. You know, wait.
And I was just like, Jennifer Love Armitage for the win.
Right. No, I mean, okay, I love JLA. I love JLA. And honestly, if I read her book and then tried to read like another paranormal romance, she would get a 5 and someone else would get like a 2 because her books, you just know they're going to be fabulous. I have not read Blood and Ash yet because I don't want to be like hanging out there off of a ledge because she cliffhangers all of them. So I'm waiting till they're done. So I'm not like hanging
You're
out there
gonna
all
wait
on
for
my
a
own.
while.
Oh yeah. I know, but I'm going to wait it out because I know what she did to me on the other things, other books I read for her. I'm not going to do that
that's
again with
true.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had the patience to wait, but
Yeah,
like
it's
once
hard.
you read the first book, you have to keep going.
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
It's like eating candy you've never eaten before, but then once you've had a taste, it's done. Like you're eating the whole bag. The whole bag's gone.
Yeah. So like she works for me because like I'm not a binge reader for series. So I can just read one book, especially since she releases the ebook like
Right.
first and then the audiobook comes out months later. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm fine. I'll get to it eventually. Takes me like a year to read book 2.
See, I forget. I
Yeah.
forget details. I'm like,
Yeah,
by
that's
the
true.
time the 4th one comes out, I have to reread the
Yeah.
first one anyway. So instead of like rereading them
Oh,
again, I just know.
I never reread.
I have to. I
I
can't. I
just like
miss
dive
out.
in and hope
Yeah.
I remember everything.
Yeah,
He's
for
like,
this one, I had to reread the parts with the hero for book 2.
right.
So I was like, I remember he showed up, but I didn't remember how
Mhm.
exactly. And it was in the
In
journals, right?
book 1, yeah.
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 Um,
Yeah.
Was
I like how
he
she's
was in the
correlating him
epilogue.
too.
He was in the
was
epilogue
he?
of the first book, right? Fion? Was that him?
No, that was Vic. They went to get kind of revenge on the guy who screwed them over.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally missed that part.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited when I was reading this book and I found my name of which county
Yeah.
I was named after,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Cary County. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like, we're reading this book together, and I freaking find the name that I'm named after.
I
I
didn't
thought
even know you were named after a county.
well, it's Cary County in Ireland because I'm an Irish
Oh.
family, and my mom, her real name is Margaret, but they nicknamed her Shammy or Shamrock, and it turned into Shammy. So she was nicknamed Shammy. So she named me after Cary County in Cary County, Ireland.
Oh.
But here I can't find anything. My name
that's
isn't
cool.
spelled anywhere. It's all Karie or Kary or whatever.
I mean, relatable. Me too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like you cannot find your name anywhere. It's like unless I print it myself, it's
Yeah.
never going to
Yeah.
be there. So,
Okay.
so for this book, you guys, I mean, this wasn't your favorite one. Did the second one feel any better for you, or are we getting into that one yet, or?
We can get into the second one.
Because I feel like that one, I mean, I don't want to talk about one that you're like, I don't really love it, even though
Yeah.
I liked it.
Well,
What
Charles
did you rate
clearly
it?
did not.
Did you finish it? I didn't even see the answer to that. Yes, no?
I did.
Okay.
I finished it like 5 minutes ago.
That one wasn't, I love the first one a lot more than I like the second one. So the first one for me was probably around a 3.8. And that's a fair like assessment for that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you liked it way better.
I think I'm giving it the same rating. Like I did like some parts, but I also struggled a bit too.
Right.
Ooh.
Like the whole
Rough other
writing.
parts.
Yeah.
Like was
like,
it
it was
slow for
very
you?
the romance, yes, which was surprising because they're mates.
Right.
But
I didn't like that she used that again.
yeah,
I think she's using that trope for all of them.
I mean, fated mates, it makes sense. But do you mean like
Yeah, it
them
does.
being slow, or?
It's like because the second book reminded me a lot of the first book. Like the first 200 pages, you're kind of just like learning, getting all this info,
Right.
and then you switch into the romance, and then it's like mates, and then it's like the same progression. That's what kind of aggravated me about this book. I was like,
This one
yes, you
took
can
a
use
little bit
you can use a
longer.
maze trope.
Right. And
I
I feel like
yeah.
there wasn't really like a villain character. Like he was supposedly the villain because
No.
he was trying to
Right.
kill her, but
Villain.
like there wasn't like a really like then someone came along to kidnap her that was in the beginning. And I feel like I really need a good villain. Like to make a book for me just fly is I want to hate someone in there. Like I want someone to be
Yeah.
like, darn you.
At
Like
least
I
it-
can't believe you're doing that. But
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
have that element taken out, it's a struggle for me.
Yeah, at
So-
least Gwen had that villain. So there was someone to hate.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then
especially
book
when he was
2
like lashing her and stuff. I was just like, no, you're going down. I don't care if I have to call the author. You're going down.
Yeah. I feel like you need like the fairy queen in this book. Like she seems like the ultimate. Like,
Right.
what she did to Fion.
Right.
Honestly, I was thinking like because it took so long, that maybe he would have found out like for some reason the queen she didn't even care anymore. So his whole his revenge scheme was for
It's just
nothing.
like-
And that could have been a little bit more interesting.
Right.
Like that
Yeah.
whole angst.
I would have loved for him to open the gates. Like for him to actually open those gates somehow, like how he dreamed it was happening, and then he went and like, they flat out open them, and then total chaos happened. See, I need a little bit more with my romances. I like the romance in there, but I need like an exterior plot to kind of bring it all together. Like, and maybe I'm not, I mean, because I love romance, don't get me wrong, but I think I need something else. That's why, hence, I like paranormal and fantasy. I need that.
Yeah.
It's like this book I could have like really enjoyed. It's just like a straight up paranormal. Like it had enough going for where it could have just easily have been like the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, where like each book is like a different, but it's not really romance. It's more YA fantasy, sci-fi.
Right.
Like this book could have easily went that way for me. Oh, I gave the second book 2 stars.
Yeah. See, and I feel like she had such a good like the bones of the book were fantastic. I really do like the bones of it, but it's just like I really do believe like supporting characters matter. So it's like you have your main characters which are strong, but I like that supporting cast that takes them to the next level.
Yeah.
Which I feel
like her parents, they could have had a bigger role, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
They could have. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's one of those things too, is why I like S.J. Maas.
Her supporting characters.
I want to know the story before we go, Charles, of why you don't like her, because I want to hear it.
Wait, Charles, did you read Court of Thorns and Roses or no? The whole series?
Or Charles?
I read it twice. I know. I only read up to book. I only read the first 2 books. I didn't.
And you didn't like book 2?
Right.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle the 3rd book. I like read 1 page and I was like, nope. I can't do this to myself. Yeah, I literally only read 2 pages and I put it down.
So good in the beginning. Oh my goodness. You had to keep going. Don't stop there. You got to keep going.
Don't torture
those M dashes that she, like
M dashes. Does she have a lot? I mean, I love M dashes.
She has a lot.
So.
Wait, what's an okay? I mean, so I've read these books a couple of times. What's an M dash? I mean,
it's like an interrupting sentence almost.
Oh, like, okay, I get what you're saying.
Using a comma,
like an emphasis, or like just like adding a little bit more to the sentence.
Right. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I get it. For S.J. Maas, you either like her or you don't. So it's okay. Like, I was just curious if there was like a story behind like why you didn't like her. And I'm like, I'm interested. Like,
there is a story though.
Okay, I want to hear it. Is it okay if you tell me?
Because when I first read it, I read it when the hype was really big. And I was like, okay, I love these books. I give them all 5 out of 5 stars.
Wow.
And then I realized after like when I started talking about the books, I was like, wait. The first book, I fell asleep while listening to the audiobook. And then I only caught like the last third of the book.
Okay.
And then Akamath, I just like blacked out for most of it. And then I only remember the big chapters. And then, and then I just realized when I look back, I literally don't remember what happened in these books. So I reread them. And I was like, oh my God, this is bad.
See, and this is something I truly believe. I don't love reading hype books until later because my expectations are really high. Like I walked into the Court of Thorns and Roses not knowing anything about it. So when I read it, I was like, whoa, this is fantastic because I didn't know anything about it. But then someone recommended another book and hyped it up really high. But since my expectations were so high, I was like, I didn't really love it. Like, it's like, what are those? But that's for me. I don't know. Some people are like, if it's hyped up, I'm there for it, you know? But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I was late to Sarah J. Maas. Because I read the series after book 2 release. So I binged the first 2. I liked book 1, but then I loved book 2. Book 3 was okay. The novella was not that great. But she took me a while to actually read because I heard all these things about her YA series, The Throne of
Throne of
Glass.
Glass.
Yeah, I still
Throne of
haven't read
Glass,
that
yeah.
one.
It's good that you read it now because it's done. Like I did like Charles did, and I jumped into the 8th book and I forgot so many things. Like the last line of the series, which I'm not going to tell you, apparently it relates to something in book 4. And I'm like, I don't even get the last line because I don't like it literally is like something she's talked about before. And I'm like, I don't know. So I have to go back and read it. But it was a good series though. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things that now that they're all out, you can go read them. I suggest that. I mean, that would be fun. It's a fun binge read, is what it is. So if you like have time, you're interested in SJ Maas, go out there and binge read it.
Yeah.
Unless you, because it's like
my problem with the ACOTAR series. Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead. I talk too much.
Oh no, I was just saying with the ACOTAR series, it was like my problem was like the books felt really like I couldn't really like pinpoint like what was a huge overarching story, because then Akamath came out of nowhere and was just like whatever happened in book 1 was like not relevant.
Yeah,
I was like, why?
The thing is, I heard about the switch. Before I started the series, so it wasn't like a big surprise for me. I was expecting it, so I guess that's the one good thing that comes from that.
Yeah, where she started with, and then went, and it's one of those things where it's just like, for me, I wasn't mad about it at all.
Yeah,
because I wasn't in love to begin with.
I mean, she does purposely.
Okay, both of them are the worst.
You guys, we should do this as like when the other SJ Maas comes out, we should just do a binge read and just talk about this. Honestly. Let's see if we can get Charles to do this. We need a person who doesn't love it to come with us.
If we make it our book club read, will we do it?
We should totally. Charles, we need someone who doesn't love it because there's people out there that don't love it, and you can come in and have the other side.
You know,
I'm gonna get roasted if I do that. I'll just like point out everything I hate about the book.
Hey, that's a good thing because there's other people that like don't love it. That's okay. Like
you'll make them feel validated,
right? And then we'll make the other people feel validated.
Crescent City was like that was my last chance of Sarah J. Maas, and that was like an 800-page mistake.
That's not fair. She totally info dumped in the very beginning of that book. Like we all know it, but we all love her, so she got a pass. Like we all know what she did.
But how many times did she have to mention alcohol in that book? It was every single page. I was like, it was funny, like on page 100. With 3
I didn't love the book.
enough.
You know, I didn't love the book, but alcohol, the reviews way overstated it. It did not show up that often.
Yeah. You know what? The last 20% redeemed it for me. It's like she stuck all the good parts at the end, and I loved it at the very end. But the thing is, you had to make it to the end. You had to make it there. Charles is like, oh no. Oh no. Did you make it to the end of that?
Yeah, I finished it.
Okay, yeah.
My favorite character was the one who died in the beginning.
Yes.
Oh no.
Actually, my favorite character was the one who died in the middle.
Oh no, you guys are all out. You're like, and we're done.
I was like, my favorite character is gone. That's why they made the ending so much worth it. Because like, oh, I like this character. She's back.
Right. Right. I agree with you, Lacey, about the novella. Mm-hmm. I know we're not even talking about the book we're supposed to talk about, but I agree with you about the novella. I get it because she was introducing her next book, but like half that book could have been done. Like she could have put that like as a prequel to the next book. Yeah. To like kind of go into that, I don't know. Personal opinion. So
I didn't read the novella. I only read the 2 main books, and that's trilogy.
Oh yeah, you didn't even finish.
So what? So at the
Okay,
end of
but
the
back
day, for
to Kiss of Vengeance.
right.
What?
Oh, I was just saying, right, you're right. What? So getting back, do you guys like questions about it and stuff? Like, what do you guys think? Like, would you consider reading the third one? Or are you guys just out? Like, you're like, no, it's not for me. I'm not a fated mates person. Because I did like the fated mates trope because it's really hard to find and find done well. Like, I don't find that done well very often. Like, I don't know about you guys. Do you guys find that?
You have to read Cresley Cole.
I see that. Yes.
I have not read her yet.
Yeah,
She's
she does fated mates so
She does
well.
it perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where you have to do it well. Like, you can't just do it, like, just wake up one day and be like, oh, we're going to fated mates them. Like, you have to, like, put some thought into it, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would read the third book if it's like a different type of character, if it's not another fey character.
Isn't it
like it has to be like a werewolf and a vampire?
I'm so
and Neo.
Is Kyo? I didn't.
Yeah. Like, was it Japanese fighter or something? Like,
yeah,
that
he's a Japanese.
Like, I'm sorry,
immortal werewolf.
Immortal werewolf. Yeah. And then she is the seer. She's the one that, like,
how do you pronounce her name? I really needed a pronunciation guide.
Girl, I am so bad at that.
I needed one.
It was like Neo.
The text to speech didn't do a good job.
Text to speech. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
It like butchered the names. I was like, I don't think that's how you pronounce these names.
Yeah.
See, and that's why I never say names on lives. And you should see me when I'm reading titles and authors. It's just like, no, I said that wrong, and I know it, like, all the time. So, but I think for her, yeah, I can't remember them either. So I like do like fake names for them. This is Kiko or whoever, which is not the name. I know.
Just say like the hero or the heroine.
Yeah,
right. That's easiest. It's like this sweetie and this Mister. So I'm there for her because she's gonna be like a seer, and her brother ended up passing away.
Oh yeah,
and that was so sad. That was a heart-wrenching scene. I was like,
she kind of wrote it a bit too quickly.
Right.
I think it was like over and done with.
See, that's my thing.
You could have drawn that out a little bit more.
Big moments. It's just like boom.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing too: is there was no rapport with the main heroine. Like, I wish they would have, like, maybe if they were gonna kill him a few chapters later, so you could create that rapport with him. Right. We saw him in how many scenes? Like 4? Was it like 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Like, he ran in the bar, ran out, and then
they didn't even like each other.
Right.
Each other. Yeah.
She only felt bad because it was her, like, fated sister or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, I mean, any predictions for the next, like, the fourth one?
Ooh, the fourth one?
Is it going to be a fourth one?
Right. Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah. There's going to be a fourth one.
Well, there's one more. There's one more Feyborn.
Right.
It's got to be them, right? Maybe it's a guy.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah, so I think the title has bitten in it. So
werewolf. Well, vampire
so
too,
we're getting
right?
werewolf?
Could be vampire too.
She hasn't written about a vampire yet, and she hadn't written about a witch yet either. Which I would have liked to have gotten, like, because she already did werewolf. I would have liked to have gotten
she hadn't.
One. And,
yeah.
There's a coven in the book that she mentions, but
right.
But no witch character.
Right. I'm almost wishing
all the witches were just bad guys,
All the bad guys seem so incompetent. They just like they face our two main characters, and then they're dead in the next scene.
This long?
Yeah.
Like, how are you that good at fighting? Like,
right. And it's so interesting. As soon as they turn like paranormal, like whenever she got a fae, all of a sudden she's an ultimate fighter. And I'm like, that's one thing I did like that Throne of Glass did for SJ Mass, is that They trained their girls. Okay, I'm just saying they trained their
They
assassins.
did.
Carrie, you are
They
not
did.
allowed to say SJM anymore.
But she did.
Banning
She
it.
trained their females to fight, so you knew that they knew how to fight instead of just waking up one day and I'm like, oh, I know how to fight. You know,
But
like
there was training in book 2. It just
that's
wasn't
true. There was
that
a little
well
bit.
written.
Yeah,
It was kind of like too easy.
It wasn't that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
right. I'm like, I wanted her to like fall on her face a few times or like, you know, get smacked.
Oh, yeah,
You know, because when
true.
you're
She
learning,
like nailed it every time.
Yep. I feel like in the first book, that whole like with the brother and her adopted brother, right? And the evil guy, the father. Like I love that scene. I love that ending. It's like, oh, this is good. Like now the brother I was like, what is going on? But then the second book, the ending, I was like, eh.
Right. See, and that's what I loved about the first one. I mean, he just such a switch. Like you never thought he was going to just jab her with a knife to just stop all this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what a twist, because he goes and saves her just to kill her. You know what I mean? Like I loved how she wrote that. I mean, she definitely wrote the first one way better than the second one. I mean, just by the ratings alone, I'm like, the second was like Lacey said, it, you know, you could take it or leave it type thing. Like once we leave this place of this live chat, we might not remember it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I feel like with this series, unlike other paranormal series, is that like you can't just like if you read the second book before reading the first book, I feel like you would be really, really lost.
Right.
Yeah, she does. Like she brings back the first couple. And if you haven't read them, you'll be like, who are these people? Why are they important?
She advertised them as a standalone too, right?
See, that just drives me crazy about some authors. They'll say it's
I think she did.
It can be read as a standalone, but then like the whole standalone could be like loosely connected or completely unconnected, and they never really define it. So it's like up to you. You're like, oh, who are these two characters that are mentioned a ton in this book? Oh wait, they have another book that's like 2 books ago.
Yeah, it says right here, a standalone adult paranormal romance. So she says it in the second one, which I highly recommend you do not read this one first. You go in order.
You read the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree.
I would have loved if we've gotten more of Fionn and his whole backstory. You know, it's kind of just told to us. So I would have loved, you know,
like in a couple of chapters.
Right.
Okay, really quick, you guys. Fionn was the vampire, right? Which one was Fionn?
The hero.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. The names, they're just over my head. Okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking of, you know who I was thinking about? I'm sorry. Charles is like, we're not inviting her again. You know who I was thinking about? I was thinking about the vampire in the first one who ended up dying. And then his brother. I would love to have heard more. I mean, he kind of got their backstory, but I kind of would have liked to know why he hated the Fae so much and kind of his backstory before he died.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it a little bit, but not a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of ways she could have gone with this.
I thought he was a Fae, like at some point in the book. I was like, wait, hold on. Because his backstory, like I just got the details all. Yeah, Fionn, right? Is that his name? Fionn?
Fionn.
It starts with an F. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Like at one part, I was like, is he a Fae or is he a vampire? Like I feel like I missed something. I was like, no, the girl is a Fae. So, like he's not. I was like, hold up.
Yeah,
like,
this time we get
to like the 50% mark to get
species. In. Same species.
Right. And it was really interesting about how
that made more sense.
Sorry. It was really interesting how with the werewolf bite, like you can only bite your mate. I really did like that aspect to it. Like she was thinking like, oh, he could bite anybody. And then she's like, no, sweetie. He can only bite you and you survive. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that was good.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I really liked his backstory though. That was the most interesting part of the book.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know something
Same with
else is I
Thea.
would oh, sorry.
Thea's
Oh no,
backstory.
I just said same with Thea in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wrote those really, really well.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see when they did do the backstory about his other wife or whatever, of like why she hated him so much because he turned Fae. I would have loved to see a little bit more of like how she turned on him, to be like the ultimate betrayal, instead of just like her being like, I hate you, and then like he goes into the ground. Like I would have loved to see like an actual
Yeah.
betrayal, you know?
Yeah, we're told that her mom was tortured by Faye, and that's pretty much the reason why she hates them. But again, it's just like told to us, it's not really shown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which book do you guys think that would be? So, you guys like the Cressley Coles for like Fated Mates. Is there any other ones that you would probably? Because I haven't run into a lot of Fated Mates. Like, is there anything else that you would like recommend for Fated Mates? Not to
Um,
put you guys on the spot.
the Side Changeling series is good. Nalini Singh.
Did you like
I
that
knew
one,
it.
Charles? Have you read
Yeah,
that one?
I only read 2 books. But I like one of them.
You like book one. Yeah, the second one was not as great. But like the more you read it, the more you get into it.
Right.
But that's a great Fated
Yeah.
Mates. There's like humans, shifters, and then this Psi race. Basically like magic powers.
Right. Is that the one with where she's not an angel, right? Or she is an angel? Is that
Oh,
her
that's
other
a
one?
different series. Yeah, that's her other series.
I think I've read the first 7 to that one, but it wasn't.
Guild
Yeah, I
Hunter?
stopped at 7. I feel like they kind of were being kind of like the same after a while. That's so hard when, I mean, have you run into an author that they write 20 books but for some reason it was just like kind of like the same story, just different characters as you went along?
Oh yeah.
Ruby Dixon.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, I stopped the Ice Planet Barbarian series after like 7 or 8 books because they were feeling a little recycled. And I like the whole, I'd rather read about new worlds, and exploring a new world rather than just them being settled.
Right.
Yeah.
She did the same thing with her Dragon series too, I think.
Oh yeah.
I got to 7 and then I was like,
that one's it's basically the same story.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story each book.
Well, and it's some people, if you like Ruby Dixon, some people like that. So it's okay. But it's just one of those things where I need a little bit
the ones
more.
I loved from her, I loved, like they were so good. But I just never finished the series or kept going.
Yeah. Because you kind of know the ending. You're like, and I know what happens. So
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm going to definitely put Cressley Cole on my TBR. Absolutely. Like she's going to be right at the top for sure. After all
I suggest you read the prequel.
No, do not. Do not read the
prequel first.
No, I hated it the first time I read it.
So is it like controversial or is it just?
No, it's just like it's not a good first intro to a series, it just throws you into the world, and I was so confused about everything that I was reading, so I just could not enjoy it. But book 1, A Hunger Like No Other, it actually introduces the world,
Okay. So it's kind of gives you that fantasy vibe of like introducing you to everything, and then jumps into the whole paranormal thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then did you read the prequel after that?
I reread it after I read the first full length, and then I enjoyed it so much more.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes authors do that. It's like they write 4 books and then they write the prequel like 4 books later, but then they forget like you don't know anything in book 1, 2, or 3. So that's tough.
Mhm.
Who did that? Also, Rachel Van Dyken, I think. She did a prequel in her Eagle Elite series, which is totally contemporary
Oh
mafia.
yeah.
And it's so
Mhm.
funny because that one for me got like a 4 stars or 4.2 stars. And then the first book got like a 3 stars because she wrote it like, it's like her writing got better as it went along. So if you like hung with
Yeah.
her, it just got better. But she wrote a prequel like right when she was like ending the series. So it was like so good. And then it was just like, this is not the
Oh
writing
yeah,
that
like you
The
read
first book was
something
my
really
favorite.
good, and then the next book it kind of sucks. Yeah.
You're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, this was so good. Like, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. She wrote this 6 books ago. So that makes sense. You know, okay, let me hang in here with you because I know
Mhm.
it's just gonna get better. So let's go with that. So
Yeah.
but yeah, fun
I feel
times.
like the series purist in me, like I have to do it in order. Like
You should
it will
read in
bother me if I don't. If even if it gets published like years later, I like that's point 0.5, and then I read one.
Me and you, Charles, all the way. Unless someone advises me, like Lacey did, to read them out of order, I will always read them in order. But like, I will read A Hunger Like No Other first because she mentioned it. But then but yeah, I have to read them in order too because I feel like I'm gonna miss something. Like I want to know like side characters. Like for me, like if there's a side character that's awesome and I see him in another book or her in another book, I am so pumped to see them again. So, but if you jump in the middle, I'm like, who are you? Like, hence why I couldn't read what was it was her Rachel Van Dyken. It was Angry Princess or Ruthless Princess.
oh her Mafia series, her
Oh,
other
Right.
Mafia
Ruthless,
one.
Because she
yeah,
was
her
like, you
mafia.
can't read, you
Yeah.
don't have to read Eagle 8 first. And I'm like, well, I want to because if
Oh, yeah.
I want to see like the side characters in your series. I
Mhm.
know they show up. So agreed, Charles. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean some series they lead up to that certain couple, you know, like you get to see the anticipation of them getting together. So if you read out of order, you kind of lose that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited. I see all your guys' stuff that you're reading, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be so good. I can't wait for them to talk about that. So, because you know, I'm like stalk you guys on your channel. So I'm like, hey, okay, so what's Lacey reading? What's Charles doing? Like,
It's okay. I think everyone stalks Lacey's channel to see what she's reading. It's like she always has
oh,
like the newest releases.
he has fabulous
I'm
stuff.
like,
But
how did
I'm
you
not gonna
get
lie,
this
Charles,
book?
you are so hilarious. I go on your channel and I just bust up laughing each time he's talking about how he's getting like roasted and stuff by people. I'm like scrolling through the comments, like, who's saying stuff to Charles? So no,
Oh
I have a
my.
good time. I mean, I love it though. It's honestly the best thing is to read a book and talk about it. For me, there's nothing better than that. Like if you read a ton of books and you get to gush about it, like that at the end of the day is why I read books. Cause I mean, it's no fun to be like, oh, I read this book and oh, I get to talk to myself about it.
Yeah.
My husband, he worries for me sometimes,
Yeah.
but not all the time. I'm like, no, I'm going to go talk to Charles and Lacey. Don't worry. I don't have to talk about this book with you anymore. He's so thankful for you guys.
Oh my.
That's so cute.
That's great.
It's you guys, so paranormal romance is like one of your faves, right?
Yes. Well, it's one of mine.
Mine is
It
historical.
Yours is, oh, it
really.
is? I had
Yeah.
no idea, Charles. That's to me like and I'm new to historical. So this is like, I mean, I know I look like I'm an expert because I have the books, but no, they're not mine. Like I bought them
You
from
ordered
someone
like that
else.
mass lot on eBay.
Well, it's so funny because it's one of those things where it's like people expect you to be really knowledgeable about it because you have so many. But I'm like, I've read maybe about 35 books of historicals, you know, like, and for me, like, I just started. So I'm like, that's pretty good. But yeah, the amount I've got thousands. It's going to take me probably a decade to read them all. I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll
So
check in in 10 years to see
In
how
10
you
years.
day. How
You will. I'll be
2030.
bothering
finish
you
all
guys
of
because you guys
them.
will still have channels and I'll still be bugging you guys on the bottom of it. Like, Carrie, go be busy. So yeah, but no, that's awesome. So do you have a favorite historical, Charles?
Can you pick
It
one?
would be. Hold on, I need to check.
Sorry, not to put you on the
Hold on,
spot.
hold on,
She's
hold
probably
on.
like, I've got like 10 actually.
Oh,
Oh
Charles,
yeah,
did
so
you
the
get my package?
How to Lose a Dude. What?
Did you get my package?
No, not yet. You sent me something?
It should have arrived.
Oh, let me check. I'll check and let you know. Like, I didn't get the mail today. Well, you didn't like
Lacey, are
let me
you
know.
It's supposed to be a surprise, and then you never sent anything, so I have to check in now.
are you guys Secret Santas?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, because I wasn't
No.
sure. They were doing BookTube Secret Santas. So
No.
I'm sorry, Lacey.
No,
go
just
and
keep
check.
going. Tell us your favorites.
you'll post it on Instagram after if you got it.
It's the Kerrigan Byrne.
How to lose a
How
duke in
to
10
love
days.
How to Lose a
How to love a
Duke.
duke.
What is it?
How to love a duke.
In 10 days. That's my
10 days.
favorite.
Wait,
Is it How to
Did you
Love a
read
Duke?
book 2?
No, I have the audio, but I haven't
Book
read
2
it.
was so good. I loved it. More than book 1.
really?
I saw your
You
video and I was like,
you liked it way more than book 1?
I mean, not way more, because I still really liked book 1.
Book 1.
Yeah. But it's one of my favorites this year.
Oh, well, hey, that's I mean, here's the thing though, with Kerrigan Byrne, like what don't you give her that isn't a 5-star? Like Samantha had it correct. Like it's like either 5-star or 5-star. Like
sorry.
maybe dock a quarter of a star for something, but but yeah, there's nothing
Oh, and
that I've
Joanna
read
Shue.
from her.
How can I forget
Oh,
to mention
yeah.
her?
Joanna Shue. So good.
She's super good too. And then Tessa
That
Dare.
series.
That's awesome.
She's growing on me. I like her.
Do you don't like
But
Tessa
Shue
Dare?
holds a special place in my heart. I
You
do.
like the more nitty
I read
gritty
2 of her
stuff,
books.
the nitty gritty historicals, instead of the lighthearted ones.
Lacey knows my taste.
Yeah. Like more
I'll
of
like
a
message her
little
and
bit
say
of a
like too
darker
slow.
element.
She knows like my favorite author is Lena Lucas.
I've never read Lena Lucas. What does she write?
She just smutty novellas.
It's like page 2
Yeah.
observations.
Okay, well,
And I
you'll have to
literally get
recommend one because if
disappointed.
she's your favorite, then I definitely need to check at least one of hers out.
See, I feel like you wouldn't like her books.
Really?
Well, it depends. Do you read smutty novellas like Jessica Kane?
No, I've never. Okay, so I mean, I've never read any of that, but it's not like I don't like them. It's just that I haven't found one that was like really. I mean, I want to be directed in the right place. Like, I don't want to just run into one and be like, "This is awful." You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be somewhat good. You know, like you tell me your best,
Oh yeah,
and
then
I'll probably.
Lena Lucas. Lena Lucas isn't for you then.
At least not for now. Not for now.
Not for now. Start me off with something a little bit more
not for now.
Hallmark.
Yeah, you
You're
need to like
gosh.
ease into the novella before you go to that.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like,
that's like zero plot.
You wouldn't start with for fantasy. I don't think. Would you start with JLA for fantasy, or would you start with something a little lighter?
JLA is actually really good for
Yeah.
beginners because her writing is just very easy to read.
Easy. Yeah, true. That's true. I was trying to think who you'd start with, like just to ease you into it. But I always say, like, if you do fantasy to start off with, go YA because everything is like not as elaborate as adult. Yeah. So if you're trying fantasy for the first time, but yeah, no, agreed. Especially since she started with YA anyway, so she knows how to break it down.
Yeah.
So, but that's awesome. Okay, well, I'm putting that on my list, Charles. For like down the road. I won't start with it, but I'll do it down the road because I know she's your
Okay,
favorite now.
my novella recommendations like never go well with anyone. Like Desiree hated the one I recommended.
She ranted so hard to me after she read that one.
Oh my gosh.
It's like called Her Gift to Me, a transgender something. It's wild.
Yeah,
you have to be ready for that.
yeah.
It's like you need a prep book beforehand to read that. Yeah.
You have to like understand like my taste. Like if the romance doesn't kick in by like page like 10, I'm already going like this is too slow.
You and Alicia are like this. She's like that too. If the romance is not like the first 10 pages, she's out. She's out. Yeah. Alicia, girl, if you're watching,
That's why
yep.
I messaged Lacey and I was like, I'm reading Dark Fever by Karen Manning. And I was like, when are we gonna get to the relationship? And she's like,
wait,
like you're like book 5? And I was like,
right. Is that the Highland? That's a Highlander one, or is it the other one? I forget the title.
Her other series.
Okay. Yeah. See, that one for me, I like her Highlander one better.
Yeah, because they're like actual romances.
Yeah.
Because her Dark Fever, her Fever series, they're urban fantasy. So romance is not going to be the focus. But the Highlander series is really good. I really like it.
You'll like that one. And it's paranormal because it's time travel. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that series from her. So, and it's a good Audible. Like Audible had a good I liked the cast in there. So so that was fun. Yeah.
Speaking my language. I literally message
Charles,
people and say,
I do because I'm like, audio? I listen to wait, what'd you say? I listen to so many books. So since I listen to so many books, I was just like, it's just, because I mean, I'm folding laundry, you're doing dishes. I mean, I never have time to sit down and physically read a copy anymore, which I miss that. I really do miss it. But one day I'll be able to sit down and read a copy.
Yeah, like when I'm in a book slump, I never get in the slump, like an audio slump. I can always keep going for audios.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And audio is great. I mean, it's great for like even like processing, like if your eyes are tired and can't read the words. I mean, it's just you're able to process the information, and that helps me out a lot too. So yeah, I love that. Audiobooks are great, and they're making them better now. They literally are doing like
how fast do you listen to them, Carrie?
Me, I'm not as fast as Charles. Like, let's be honest. Like, he is like, but okay. So I have a rule. Like, if it's like historical or something like that, I'm around a 2.3, 2.5. But if it's like fantasy and I'm trying to get like the world building to it, then it's more like a 2.2 or 1.9. Because then I need to slow it up to know like, oh, like she came from this kingdom far away and she has this power. And like, I need to like really remember that. But like when they're like, in historicals, if they're doing like a walk in Central Park, like that could speed that up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
that could be a very important walk.
As they look into each other's eyes. You know what I mean? So no, for me, like, because I know which way the historicals are going to go. So I just want the meat of it at that point. So I zip through those. But for fantasy, I will like speed them up after I get like where everybody's at and who they are. And because the characters are also, there's more characters in fantasies too. I feel like there's like, even with, what was it? Like Crescent City, what was there, like 10 characters or quite a few characters, right? And then
way more. Hold up.
Right.
No, Sarah J. Maas.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'll stop now. But I mean, it's just so like we all know it and stuff. But it's one of those things. So like when we do historicals, like Kerrigan Byrne, like you're talking maybe 4 or 5 main characters of that. So it's not like I have to really like piece the storyline together very much. And I talk way too much.
Like I don't really listen to fantasies just because I prefer reading them, especially if there's like different words and stuff. I'm like, oh God, I don't know what you're saying, you know?
Yeah.
So I prefer reading fantasies, but I will listen to paranormal stuff, especially like series that I've already read. Like I'll listen to Black Dagger Brotherhood because I know everyone already.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
feel
I
like with
that.
the sorry, Charles, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
No, I talk way too much. I've already
No, I was just agreeing with Lacey. That's it.
I was just
Not the
thinking with
reading
fantasy.
physically. I only do audiobooks. So like, because they tried to convince me, Lacey and Jess tried to convince me to read from Blood and Ash, like when it was a book club pick a couple months ago.
Yes.
And I was like, there is no audio, and this is like a 600-page book.
There's no audio for that?
It came out like a month after our book club month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I pushed for them to move it, but Lacey told me no.
So, are you guys are for this month, what's the book for this month again?
The holidays.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. I was so close to the name of it. I was like this close, Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, don't ask me names of books. It's so bad. I've got to get better. So, have you read it yet?
I am not allowed to read it until like the last week because Jess has already read it and has already forgotten about it. So one of us has to remember what happens in order to guide our live show.
She's like me, so she reads it and then forgets. But like, if you say like certain things about the book, like if you give like a leading question, I'll be like, oh, I remember that part, and then I'll like be able to contribute in the conversation. But it's so like her, like it's like, wait a minute, what happened there? I forgot. How many books have you read this year, you guys?
Charles is at like 500, I bet. But I'm around 350, but I haven't added a couple books.
That's incredible. Yeah, I'm just curious because I wouldn't remember what I read if it's around like the 300 range or 350 range. No way.
Well, it's hard when you look at it the whole year, but monthly wrap-ups, it helps. It's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. That helps it.
Right. Do you, after you read them, Lacey, do you write a little review in Goodreads to kind of help you guide for your shows?
Yeah, I try to, like, sometimes I'll just leave like a one sentence thing, or I'll just write it down in a note to myself, on my phone. Or I'll even look at, some other reviews to be like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, right? Just to kind of lead you. Yeah.
800? Are you serious, Charles?
Wait, where did he post that?
It was in the comments. Oh my God.
Charles, good work, sir.
Was off by half.
No, because like Lacey, you are right. Because I have like over 200 books I'm currently reading that I haven't read yet.
Oh.
So like once you add those in, then I'll be at 800. But granted, I read a lot of novellas and then I read a lot of picture books.
And you read a lot of what?
Like for some reason wanted to like get back more into middle grade.
Oh, okay.
And like kind of like get some like different types of stuff. So I picked up a couple picture books and I picked up some graphic novels. So that I just like ramped it up really quickly. And then I read like a ton of audio novellas. Like a ton. I think I just went through Amazon, just like bought all of them. I was like, okay, we'll listen to that. That's only an hour. That's
awesome though. Like I sounds kind of cheesy, but I like some middle grade books. I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
Like the ones they're writing now are pretty impressive. Like I didn't get that growing up.
Yeah. I feel like romance is like anytime I turn around, like I miss like 20 new releases.
Yeah, that's so true.
Have you guys attempted to write anything since you read so much?
Oh no, I am not a writer.
No?
I'm just a
Yeah,
reader.
I've never been the type to write stories or anything. I'll just read them.
Yeah. See, my biggest fear though is if I start writing something that I'm going to get bored with it. Because when you read something in a couple days, you're done. So when you write something, you're investing like months and months and months. And that's only if you get picked up. Like it could be months and months and months of like your 10th story at that time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's definitely that
I
dedication
feel like I
right there
wouldn't
for
be
you.
good at like who would want to read a book by me? It'll be like 2 pages. You'd be like they
It'd
met.
be another Lena Lucas.
Okay.
See me,
I'm
see me.
sorry. I kind of would be
I
interested
would
in what you
literally just
write,
like rip
Charles.
off
I'm
her
not
books.
lying.
It would literally be those, but even shorter.
Charles, I think you would write something pretty clever. I'm not going to lie. I think I would really enjoy if you wrote something. I'm throwing it out there. You have an eye and you kind of have like detail of what you want.
That's true. That's true.
That's
I think it would
true.
be good. You should throw something
That's
down on
true.
paper.
I feel like nah. I only like to read. I don't like to write. I like criticizing other people's writing.
Have you read a book to where you're like, I'm gonna do a video about this and just like really talk about this as in like this was not my favorite? I mean, I've never have done that, but I know other booktubers have.
Like a rant review.
Yeah, and
Like
I'm
a
not
rant video.
yeah, I'm too probably nice to do one. I would be too like, I'm sorry, I don't know.
I feel like I'm
Yeah, I
sorry, but this
haven't.
was really good about your book.
I really thought it was a really good try.
Yeah, it just depends on if you have enough to say for a video.
Right,
Because like if I don't like a book, I'm just like done with it.
right. No point like kind of promoting it at that time.
Yeah, unless it's something I don't know really hyped, and you know it'll get views.
Right, right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
The only time I
for
do that is
sure.
like when a book like makes me angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like when like I actually like I get angry while reading. Like I'm
Yeah,
reading the book and I'm like angry. Like Sarah
yeah,
Jenkins.
that happens to me rarely, but yeah.
That happened to me with the Divergent series. I mean, I granted that's no romance whatsoever, but I was very upset with the Divergent series. If you guys have read it,
Oh,
you
with
know
the
what I'm talking
ending.
about.
The ending.
I never read the third book.
Save yourself. I did. You know how I am. I don't like trashing authors or anything like that. I threw that book across the room. Nope.
I liked it because I was like
You did?
finally an author has a main like an author has like I don't even know how to say like has like the audacity to like do that to a main character. I was like, that's bold.
It
Most
is very
YA
bold.
fantasies or dystopians would just be like,
Oh yeah,
and
they're a
everyone
little
rides off to
too.
the sunset and the villain
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
But that's like she really ripped out my heart and stepped on it though. Like when you're that invested in somebody.
Just like
I was like,
this other author
I
that
was
we
fine.
won't bring up again.
It's funny.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning the other authors yet. Not mentioning that one author.
That's so funny though.
I'm gonna have to sign a contract before I come on Charles's channel. You will not mention this person. Sign here.
I think it's
Every
Jen.
live show, someone mentions
Jen
it.
said that SJM is always brought up when you're when you're live.
Every time, if someone knows I'm there, it's like Sarah J. Maas.
Because we just want to get the backstory. Actually, you know what's funny, Charles? Is I just bought a ticket to her virtual event. So I will see her February 20th, and I'll tell her you said hi. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm curious because it's the launch of. Wait, is it? Do we know when her book's coming out?
I think there's already a release date. I just don't remember.
It's like Cordis. Yeah.
Of Silver Flames.
Lacey, are you gonna read it?
Yeah. Yes. The only one that I would be hesitant about reading is the next Crescent City book. But I do like Ekotar.
Well, she's going to write about the other characters, though. I'm really interested to hear about more story and things like that.
I want to know how many times Charles has facepalmed in this during this whole life.
At least I think you're going to be like 20. He's just like... Poor Charles. I'm sorry, Charles. He's like, that Carrie girl, we need to send her back.
But like that's like she's like one of the few authors that I actually like hate read her books now if I read them.
You're like, I'm gonna read this just to know how bad it is and write it down.
Yeah. Or I'll just put it on in the background as an audiobook and just fall asleep and then wake up and be like, okay, I know this happened. I don't need to that whole middle part you get tossed out. I don't care about who these side characters are. Okay, who's she with now? Okay, other dude is bad. Okay, big bad pops up. Okay, that's the story.
So who are you? So besides, this author, who are you excited for coming out in 2021? Who's the one you're like, I need this tomorrow? Because that's
Thomas.
her.
Concrete Rose. It's coming out next month, I think.
Oh, next month already?
Yeah, I think it's January. It comes out.
Is that the
Angie Thomas? It's a prequel to The Hate You Give.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Awesome. So this is like she wrote the first book and then this is the prequel to that?
Is it about the
father's story?
Parents?
Like when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting. This father has an interesting story. So it's like I'm really curious to see how she does it. Because she hasn't done me wrong with any of her books. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I don't like Taylor Swift either. Sorry.
I mean, I don't really care.
There's just so much coming out next year.
Yes. So many. Still need to do a video for that.
Right? I'm just going to look at Lacey's channel and see everything she gets for free. I'm just be like, yep, Lacey got that arc. Yep.
Just like check out her book hauls. Like her your latest one, you say like, I'm back on my eBay.
I swear, when you snake that from Jess, I'm like, oh, she's giving it to her for her Christmas present. I totally see this.
No, you're thinking too much of me, Carrie.
I'm like, yes, she's gonna gift it to her, no problem. Don't worry, I got you covered, Lacey. I'm sending her something really great for Secret Santa. Huh?
No, like Lacey and Jessa and Lisa, they'll like bet against each other for these books.
I know you guys should do like an ultimate video of like eBay. Do like this ultimate like, okay, I can see Jess on here right now. I'm gonna
like a competition. That'd be so funny.
I would be so down for that. I mean, Jess wouldn't. She'd be like, I hate all of you guys.
Yeah, she would be.
But she would be like, okay, she would win some of these. Yeah. I know her. She'd get it.
Charles, Heather is here out roasting you in the comments.
Okay, we had a buddy read together, and she bailed on me.
What book
I
was
finished the book. It was Training Season by Letta Blake. It's a hockey romance. No, figure skating romance. Yeah, that's what it
Ooh.
is. It was good, but then she never finished it.
I do like my sports romances. I'm not gonna lie. Like there's some out there that are so good. Oh, the one you recommended, Lacey. I'm like, hello. It was the one where she was the
Culty?
agent, and she's a sports agent, and there's 4 sisters. Here, let me get it. It was so good. I'm as like, oh my gosh, it was incredible. I cannot wait for the next book. As soon as I say it, you guys, you're gonna know what it is. As soon as I get there.
Bowen?
Hard to handle. K with Bromsberg.
Oh,
K.
Kay Bromberg?
Yeah. Hard to handle.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That was so good. So good. I think I got it from you or Jess.
The second one came out recently.
Did it? How did I miss this? I missed this. Okay, yeah. It is so good, you guys. That one is really good. And I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got the recommendation from you, Lacey. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. You put it on your channel somewhere?
Yeah, it was like in a haul somewhere.
with the other 50 books I got this week.
Hold on, but I like this book.
Oh, I don't know.
What?
Have you read her before? Kay Bromberg. She's like hit or miss for me. But apparently this one was a hit.
This is like another Sherry Thomas recommendation.
So see, I'm scared though, because like I tend to be really nice. So read it, and then if I'm right, then you could take me up for my word. But if I'm wrong, then you know I'm always off. But no, I really like this one. But this is the first Kay Bromberg I've ever read. I haven't read any of her other stuff. What else did she do?
She wrote the Driven series, which like the first 2 books is car racing. I didn't love the first few books. I like the later books more.
Wait a minute. I might have read her before. Driven. Did Jess recommend that on her channel at one point?
I doubt it.
Here, let me see.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll look it up after this, but I might have read that. But I'm
pretty it was really popular.
Yeah, like he was on a motorcycle. It was like a speedway thing.
He's a race car driver.
No, it was a motorcycle. Okay, never mind. No.
It was Sherry Thomas, Charles. I'm telling you, just read book 1. You're not reading out of order. It's just book 1. If you want to continue, that's on you.
What is this? I'm sorry.
It's the Fitzhugh trilogy by Sherry Thomas. It's historical romance. I loved book 1, hated book 2. Charles is mad that I'm recommending it. I'm recommending book 1. I'm not recommending book 2.
What's book 1 about? Now I'm like super intrigued, like historical romance, like
secret identity kind of thing. She's trying to get revenge on the hero. Who said some really awful things about her behind her back. So now she's trying to get him to fall in love with her, and then she'll break his heart.
Oh, I like that. Like, I don't know what trope that is, but I like that trope.
That's like Lady Sophia's Lover.
Right.
The Lisa.
Kinda. I mean, that whole revenge thing kind of fell through really quickly.
Yeah. It was there, and then it was gone.
It went out the window really quick.
Yeah. No, that sounds awesome. I'm not going to lie, Lacey. I'm probably going to DM you for that title again after this.
Yeah.
You should read it. Read the whole trilogy and then tell me if I should read it.
Yeah. If I rate it too high, you'll know, like, nope, I can't read it because I know I'm going to give it like a 2. If I rate it like a 3, you'll know, like, now I really can't.
1 stars out.
One star's out, yeah.
You haven't, or what?
I haven't. I've been nicer with the
Surprising.
books.
I mean, that's great. That's great, Charles.
No, it's bad. I'm like, am I losing my edge?
Do you give a lot of 1-star book reviews? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I was really big
He's
on
the
that.
king of 1-stars. He will just 1-star everything.
See, I'm on the mindset like since they got published, they at least get 2.
Yeah, I only rate 1-star if I truly hate it. Otherwise, 2 stars is just like a bad book. I don't like it.
Right. Because I'm like, if I had issues with it, like there was something where it was like controversial, then I just won't even rate it. I'll DNF it and then I won't rate. But like, I feel like you at least get 2 stars for like an effort. Like, you know how like on the SATs, you get 700 points for just putting on your name?
Oh my gosh.
You get 2 stars just for publishing.
Hey, a 1-star, you get 1 star for effort. You tried to do something. You published a book. That's all you get.
See, I'm nicer in my SAT scores. Oh my goodness.
Oh my. So what is everyone currently reading right now after, or what are you planning on reading?
Lacey, you want to go? Because I feel like I talk too much.
Well, I mentioned it, the 365 Days by
Oh yeah.
Lipinski, I think that's her name, but it's the movie, you know, the book that the movie was based off. It's not going so hot.
Is it a romance?
Oh, it's not good so far?
It's a mafia romance. Yeah, the writing is not good.
It's not good?
No.
Oh.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you want to stick in there, but you're like, this is getting hard.
Yeah, it's been a struggle.
Yeah. The struggle is real. Like we should get one of those shirts with like a book on it or something. I was looking at my phone. I'm reading When He Was Wicked. Yeah. Yes, I skipped. I'm not supposed to be reading When He Was Wicked yet because the live show for the hashtag Binging Bridgerton is the other one.
Book 5.
Yeah, I think is that just Sir Philip with Love?
Love, yeah.
Okay.
So, and I feel so bad because I'm like a series reader. So for me to like stop and then start other books is really hard for me. Like, I'm like, hold up.
You want to finish it.
Right. I'm like, hold up. Wait a minute. Can't read this one yet. But
Yeah, I also have that problem.
Right. And I just want to know what happens at the end. I want to know like with all the kids, like what's going on. But I'm just really excited. Like just to like see the Netflix coming out, which I guess like someone just, I think Jen from the Book Refuge, she just told me that like the whole series is coming out for Christmas Day. I was thinking we were just getting like the first one, but the whole series is coming out. Like, well, that's nice.
I think it's just The Duke and I, but like the whole season.
Well, yeah. Oh, sorry.
You mean
the whole season will drop the same
Yes.
day.
Yeah. I tend to say the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the whole season for The Duke and I. But it's one of those things too where I hope that they don't go by book, like they incorporate like other storylines. Because I did like other storylines better than certain ones. Because you know, like in a series, you have your favorites. So
I think that's what they're planning on doing. That's why they changed it to the Bridgertons.
Yeah.
Like I think they're gonna tease out like all the different couples. Like while
they have to make you want to watch the rest, like watch more.
Yeah. And I'm really interested too because they had other couples in there. So I was like, like ones they didn't write about. Like, and like the Queen, that's new. Like I'm excited to see her. Like Fun time.
Shondaland commented on my photo of the Bridgerton book. I was
She
like,
did?
whoa.
Did you really?
Well, not like Shondaland,
You
but the account. The account.
That's awesome.
you and Jess need to like try to get Shonda Rhimes on your live.
Oh my gosh.
You guys have the clout to do it.
You
Oh
I want
totally.
it to happen.
hilarious.
I'd be there for that. I'll just be commenting in the comments like as much as I can. Just be like,
Yeah.
Lacey, oh my gosh.
I
I
was
mean,
like,
if she
send me the
actually wrote a
StreamYard
book.
link so I can get on this live.
Oh my god, no.
Okay. Like when the new Joanna Shoe book comes out, you guys should invite her to your live and then make me a
I know,
guest.
we should. Because, I mean, the only problem
I will
that we
be.
both have is that we don't know if we love it. Like, Kennedy Ryan, we knew we were going to love it, so we had no problem
Yeah.
inviting her. But yeah, Joanna Shoot would be a good bet. A good bet.
You know what I've noticed is all authors are super sweet. Like they're all so kind. And like with us dealing with Julia Quinn, like they're so like, yeah, let's gush about my books and stuff. And let me send you swag so we could like hype it up. And they're all on board for that. Like they love doing their book series and they writing it just to get it out there. So yeah, I definitely would try to reach out to like, and they love you guys. So they would definitely jump on board that.
Yeah. Well, keep it in mind. I think Joanna Shoop is out February, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is she out on
I'll
February?
be really heartbroken if I don't like it.
Her new release is out February.
Yeah, and they're like at that time they're like doing their like virtual tours and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to ask early.
Yeah. That would be fun for you guys. I would be really excited to see what you guys have planned like in the future and stuff. It would be exciting. So yeah.
Just ask Sarah J. Maas, please.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie, Charles. If I ever get her like to talk to me, you're coming.
You have to take it up with Jess.
No.
I know she loved Crescent City.
I know she loves Crescent City.
Okay, see, I'm like, you know, I rated Crescent City like a 4.4, right? Like for the last 20%. That 20% did it for me. Like
it was what saved it from a 2-star read for me.
Right.
So
well, what did you end up rating it at the end?
A 3.
So it just only went up 1 star.
Yeah.
I mean,
it wasn't that amazing. It would bump it up to like a 5.
Right. For me though, it just was like a lot of things happened right there. And it was just like, you probably could have cut out the first half of the book and it would have been like a better rating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like in her other books, something she did better was introducing different elements throughout the book instead of doing it all at the beginning for the first 80%. So, and I don't know if anybody else feels that way. If you feel like that, feel free to throw it down in the comments below. But I felt like her other books were very like more of a gradual progression, where this one, it was like she just wanted to lay out the world and kind of get it done with type thing.
It's like someone just like ripped off a fire hydrant and just like put it in front of your face. You're just like,
wait, I want to see that.
Like, when scenes happen, I was like, it was too much. I was reading the book. I was like, how? Like, you need to write notes to be able to remember who all these characters are and how they're related to one another. I was like, make it easier on me. Like, I'm just like, this is a Sarah J. Maas book. I shouldn't be putting this much effort.
But you know what? She's not.
Like, I can pick up Cassandra Clare.
No, keep going.
Oh no! What were you saying?
No, you said you were going to pick up when you pick up Cassandra Clare. I was interested.
Oh, like her world. Like I don't like her anymore, but like her books are so easy to just like binge through all of them. You're like, oh, these two are in love. They can't be together. Oh no. There's like an evil bad guy. There's like a potential incest plot. Oh yeah. They're like so easy to follow. They're easy to follow, and the world is like built with each book. So it's not like all at once.
Right. You know, and I hate to say it though, but Sarah J. Maas is not the only one who's done it to where like you have to take notes to figure out like fantasy writers. Some of them, like you're like, I have to do research on the book before I read this book because I don't know the world because it was so dang complicated. Even though like I hold Sarah at a higher standard because she's one of my favorites. There's other authors that do the exact same thing where it's like literally like you have to like do like a whole class before you read their stories. And I'm like, I don't know. I think that that's a little much.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Man, I'm just getting roasted in this comment section. Like
Sorry,
no one else is getting roasted.
You're very roastable.
Yeah, but you're the favorite, Charles. Of course you're getting roasted. I love it. Favorites get roasted. Bottom line. Somebody roast me.
You're too nice, Carrie.
Look at, I tried to put on my purple lipstick to be like, I'm a bad girl, but no, I still look like Hallmark.
I can see like getting like a bad review of a book and you're like, I'm so sorry to people who really like this book.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. It's like C for effort, you know, like I feel so bad because seriously, someone to get published. Like I've seen like what you have to do to get published. It is a beast. Like you write out to like 70 publishers and then like maybe they see you. And then it's like a 2-year process as like a beginning author, of course. This is not ones that are like have everything established, but to go through that process and then like it's like that's why I'm like 2 stars. Just for the fact that is just like the difficulty, unless there's really problematic things like sentences aren't making sense or not adding up or like something controversial in it that I totally don't agree with, then at that point I'll not rate. Or if at that point I probably won't rate just because I'm not, don't want to make beef or anything like that. But it's, so yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
There was this whole other conversation about the Uptown Girls, but yes, everyone needs to read the Uptown Girl series by Joanna Shoup. It's so good. It's so hot.
If you don't like it, like DM me. We'll exchange words.
He'll make
I defend that trilogy.
Which one was your favorite, Charles?
I'm partial to the first one. The second and third one are too similar.
Me too. I know Izzy said she liked 2 and 3 more, but book 1, I loved it. Book 2 is so good too. But yeah.
Well, guys, that's like on the top of my TBR to read for next year too.
3, I wanted it to go a little bit darker. Because he's a gangster. And
I remember when we buddy read it, you were like, I didn't like the ending.
Dude, I wanted it to be a lot darker than it. It just didn't go as dark as I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at the top of my TBR for next year. So I definitely.
The audios are really good.
They were really good.
They're really good.
And there's no accent because they're in New York.
New York, yeah.
You know what's crazy is my historical romances have only been like in London or Scotland. Like I've not read anything in New York yet. This will be my first New York historical romance, which is interesting. But
you will like it.
Yeah, I've heard so many good things about it. It's hard not to like walk into it with like a chipper type of mood, You know who else had a first good book? You guys read the Kate Bateman?
Oh, I didn't. But didn't Jessica?
I know Jess read that.
Yeah, she read it. She recommended it. I got it from her. And this one is incredible because she's an heiress and someone's trying to marry her and she doesn't want to marry him. And then she goes and marries someone on death row because she's like, well, then I am a widow, so I don't have to deal with it. But he doesn't end up dying. I mean, it's so it's so funny. Like you laugh through the whole thing. It's like,
Oh, it's a lighthearted kind
Mhm.
of historical.
yes,
Oh,
it's
it's
really, really
lighthearted?
funny.
So
Yeah.
not for Charles.
Oh,
Not for
really?
me.
Like you don't like funny? It's funny. It's funny. So I don't know if it's too like if it's not like okay, so it's not dark if that's what you're going for.
It's
No,
not
it's
like
not like
Kerrigan Byrne, you know.
okay. Okay. That's like more yeah. Lacey knows my taste better than I do.
Yeah, so then maybe this is not one for you, but it's not. There's no dark. No, it's more like Tessa Dare. Like I would rate like this one, like the first one of Tessa Dare, where she's like wearing the wedding dress, like that type of like. It's not the same story by
Okay.
any means, but like that type of fluff.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Oh,
you
then I
read
would
the
like
one?
that. I would like that.
Okay,
I
so it's
read
not dark.
The Duchess Deal and the Governess
Yes, the Duchess
Game.
Deal. Yeah, it's like that kind of like fluffy, but it's funny. I think it's funny, but I don't know.
Okay. I was thinking you're like giving me like who's that author? Soraya Wilson. She's a KU author.
She
I
wrote
haven't.
historical. I thought she
Oh
wrote
no, she
contemporary.
didn't write a historical, but she writes contemporary. But
Yeah,
they're
rom-com
clean.
kind of
But they're
stuff.
like cute and fluffy and stuff like that.
Oh, this isn't clean. Like this. This has steam. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, like because when I first read Soraya Wilson, I was just like, okay, like whenever you, and then I finished the book, I'm like, wait, did I miss something?
All they did was a
Like
kiss. What
that's like where I
happened?
don't like. It was just a kiss, and then like happily ever
Yep.
after, I was like, hold on, did I miss a second? Did I miss a chapter or something?
That's funny.
But circling back to the book, any final thoughts about the two books? Would you continue on in the series? Do you feel hopeful
I
that
would
it gets
continue.
better, or are you gonna wait for the audios?
Well,
Okay.
I don't know how long the audios are going to take.
Right.
So it'll be a while for you, Charles.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
That's fine.
continue. My ratings were higher. So I'm like, I would like
Mhm.
to see. I think it's one of those things where the first one was really good. The second one kind of lulled. I think the third one's gonna be really good. And if she
Yeah, a couple people said it was a lot better.
yeah. If she can wrap it with the fourth one being really good, then I think it's a solid series for me.
Mhm.
hmm You have to let me know if you like them. If you think I should continue on.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's to you,
Carrie.
Lacey,
You like
because
you like
yeah, poor Charles. He's gonna be like, Carrie, I don't know. I don't trust you yet. If
I
I
was like,
find
you need
something
to know my
dark,
taste
Charles,
before you
I'm sending it your
recommend me a
way
book.
for sure.
Oh my. You'll get there. You'll get there eventually.
You know
Just
what?
like
If I
read
find
Lena
something,
Lucas, and then you'll.
yeah. Hey, Alicia's gonna be so excited, and so is Chris that I'm reading darker stuff because they're always like recommend things. I'm like, oh, that's a little dark for me.
But you do like Kerrigan Byrne, so
Yes, no. I'm thinking more like
I do.
erotica type thing.
okay, like
You
more
know, like
steamier kind of
right.
sturdier.
Yeah. I do like my dark. I mean, I like
Oh, so
the
Presley Cole's gonna be a shock for you.
Oh yeah, that's true. She writes really, really steamy
I'll
stuff.
let you. I should. You guys, I
She.
haven't done a reading vlog yet. That should be like my first reading vlog.
Yeah, you should do it.
Me reading Presley Cole being like, whoa.
Yeah, like if you're not ready, like it's like she's over the top.
I'll DM you, Charles. I'll tell you what I think.
Oh, have you guys read Samantha Young's contemporaries? Totally forgot to bring it up.
Oh
have
no,
Wait,
I haven't.
I think I have.
I
Wait a
have.
minute.
I love On Dublin Street, loved Hero,
Yep, done all
Flight or Fight. I think that's what it's called.
that. Yep, done that one too.
Okay.
But yeah, I do prefer her
Oh, I read-
contemporaries more so far.
Right. You know what? I read her other paranormals and they did get lower ratings for me. Like, I think I read her, see, I'm going down my list because I'm like, I'm never going to remember these titles to save my life. But let me see. Yeah, because I did read Before Jamaica Lane. I really loved that one. That one was great by her. I think it was the same one in that series.
Yeah, on Dublin Street series.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But let me see. It was, sorry guys. It's like, you guys probably have your books all organized. Mine's like, I'm like scrolling through them as fast as I can.
No, you're fine. I read her Outmatch with
Kristen Callahan.
Callahan.
That
Thought it
was
was
cute.
good.
Yeah.
Wasn't my favorite, but I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. That's the only other book I read by her. I need to be on Dublin because I heard you and Jess like talk about it so much. It's like one of those like OG series that I need to read.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, it was her.
You're fine.
It was the tale of Lunarmore. I think it's her Moor spell or Moon spell. It's that Moon spell series. I think I rated that one like 3 stars. And you know, for me, if I'm rating it about 3-ish stars, it's not something it was okay. It was just an okay series. And then it was her Fire Spirits series. And that again was a 3-star series for me. So I read both her other series. So maybe that's why this one rated so much higher for me, because I read her other 2 series and it wasn't as well as this one.
It was better.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This one was better. Okay. Oh, that makes
this
more
one
sense.
that we read was, I think, way better.
Like, because she wrote those ones a long time ago, so she grew as a writer.
Right. Yeah. And I think she's just going to keep growing. So it's somebody I'm going to kind of stick around with, especially since her contemporaries are some of them are really, really good. I think anyway.
Yeah. I feel like a paranormal is much harder. I feel like the bar is set so much higher because you have like these mega authors with like 20 books in a series.
Yeah, especially like
it's really hard to do something different.
Yeah.
And everyone has like, there's only so many takes you can do on paranormal and keep it fresh and interesting. So like,
exactly.
I think contemporary you have a lot more leeway. Like you can do the same story like 20 times. And like, I would probably still like it if you do it well.
Right? Yeah, no, I totally agree. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to they're trying to build not only, because in fantasy, you're building a world, granted, but in paranormal, you don't have to do that. So it's like you're taking out an element. So since you're taking out that element, it's almost like a disservice because you're not like, that almost helps fantasy writers because they could create a whole new world. But in paranormal, you're still stuck in this world, kind of. I mean, a little bit, you know? So you're potentially writing the same thing, just at maybe a different angle. So that's tough.
Yeah. But yes, so I will wrap us up. Thank you guys so much for joining our live show. I hope you guys, if you haven't read the book, you may be hopefully inspired to pick up the book, or pick up the first 2 books. But yes, I hope we do another live show on my channel at another point. Thank you, Carrie and Lacey, for joining me on my first live on my channel. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, everyone have a great night.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining.
Bye, guys.
Oh, and everyone's links will be down in the description box down below. So go subscribe to them.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.